Welcome to the Jimmy Jam Sessions podcast. As always, if you enjoy all the content that we've been doing here on our channel, there's the subscribe button down there. It's there. Trust me, it's there. That way you can be alerted for all the new stuff that we do. Our sports takes, food reviews, everything within the world. We do appreciate you. Got the big gigantic light in front of me, but now I definitely have to do some way, shape, or form take the things off. Forgive me about my voice because I am basically, as I'm shooting this episode of First Reaction, I am getting over a freaking 72, 84-hour stomach bug in which I had to drain a bunch of protected PTO. And because I didn't think it was going to go on that long, so where I'm going to work, I'm probably going to be praying every single day that I don't get sick again. But in this day and age, God only knows. So voice is slowly starting to get back, but let's get to the gist of this now. Apparently, we don't necessarily know the decision-making of Aaron Rodgers because now that we've known a handful of things that are going around, I have put a couple of these first reactions out, and I've even put one out a while back when the Steelers lost to the Ravens in the playoffs. Now, they are no longer, if you go back and watch, please, if you get a chance, watch the first reaction of the Steelers and the city of Pittsburgh possibly going down a possible downward spiral, maybe for a little while. But now that we're figuring out, let's just figure little pieces. I really haven't gone over a whole bunch of stuff because I wanted to shoot something and get it out tonight, get it out Monday morning or whenever it comes out. Russell Wilson is not an option. He now signed with the Giants. So now the Giants quarterback room is now Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and apparently Tony Cutlets is still there, or whatever his name is, Tommy DeVito, Tony Cutlets, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets, whatever. The Giants tried to get a nice story, and yeah. There's your quarterback room. We still don't know what the Titans are going to do. We still don't know what the Browns are going to do, but they both have heavy ideas of whether or not either team are going to draft Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. And then that leaves Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers has been toying back and forth with the possibility of going to Minnesota. The Giants are now out. There's a little bit of sparks thinking that if Brock Purdy does not get anything close to Dak Prescott money, which probably won't happen, San Francisco became an option. But in a sense, Aaron Rodgers now has the Steelers or retirement, and he's walking the beaches of Malibu, then finding more darkness retreats. So we don't know the situation about if Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with the Steelers, and nobody in Pittsburgh wants Aaron Rodgers. But in your case, in the Steelers' case right now, I have said this numerous times, and I will continue to say it. With that division that you are in, the Browns are tough no matter who the quarterback is because it seems like you split every year. You have your way one year, and then one year you split. One year the Cleveland Browns beat you in the playoffs, and it was the pandemic year. That's the closest the Browns ever got to an AFC championship. But in a sense, you have Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You have Joe Burrow, who just got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, both signed. If the Bengals defense actually gets improvement, the Bengals are going to be very possibly in the Super Bowl bubble. That's the one thing. The only kicker is their ownership and front office is cheap. At this point right now, it's not necessarily from NFL Network and from Adam Schefter that the draft board now for the Steelers is now looking at that they really like Jalen Milroe from the University of Alabama. They think he's pretty much a better version of Anthony Richardson. They need special. Going against Lamar and Joe Burrow, you need special. And with every other quarterback in the AFC, and I'm talking And I'm talking everybody with like Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Now you get Bo Nix. And then you go to Josh Allen, and then you get Tua when he's healthy. Justin Fields went to the Jets. You know, you get the deal with the Texans and C.J. Stroud, and if Trevor Lawrence is healthy, and the AFC is loaded with talent at quarterback. It just depends on who steps up. And now we're looking at the possibility of the Steelers being a bottom seller. You're now into a position where once again you're probably going to get another small, like, low-rated quarterback for a reach, and you did that with Kenny Pickett, and you only did that because he was a local kid and everybody knew him, and that was a little bit of a reach, and you tried to get a specific, story. The Giants thought Tommy DeVito, coming out of nowhere. I think he came from Syracuse. I think I could be wrong, but they tried to figure that story when everything fell through with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is no longer an option. He's now in Indianapolis. So, with that being said, we're now looking at the Steelers just thinking, well, we got to reach a quarterback, but next year's class is going to be a hell of a lot better. But if you absolutely need something now, then you may have to take Aaron Rodgers for a year, but he's going to want $25-30 million. And I don't know if the Steelers have that much. They spend too much on defense. You're already given 5 years for $150 million to DK Metcalf. You haven't decided what you're going to do with George Pickens yet. Offense is not bad, but I've been telling you for months, fix your offensive line. And I don't know if they did that. They did made a couple moves, but that may be the rest of the draft. So, again, think of all the awkward options that you had. I've seen weird reports on Instagram. Pittsburgh could be interested in Anthony Richardson. They could be interested in Daniel Jones. They could have been interested making a trade to get, there's now one that they could be interested down the road in getting Kirk Cousins. But money's going to be an issue. I mean, money's always an issue in the NFL. But are you willing to take 1 year with Aaron Rodgers knowing that he's going to want money? Or are you just going to go ahead and just draft Jalen Milroe 21st overall, or try to move up? Because there was rumors that Pittsburgh loved Jackson Dart. Now front runner seems to be Jalen Milroe, and everything checks the box with Jalen Milroe. I mean, I get it. He was in Alabama. Alabama quarterbacks don't go far in the NFL. Not a whole heck of a lot did. A.J. McCarron may have been the closest. Tua's now there. Tua's got his bag, but that's your closest bet. And now we're looking at the possibility, and even Jalen Hurts was there, but then he went to Oklahoma. But as an organization, you now have to realize we may have to suck it up for a year with Aaron Rodgers. But are you willing to drop $30 million for 1 year? Or are you just praying that he says, I think I'm just going to call it a career, because you decided not to give Justin Fields that money, or give Justin Fields the ball and give him a 3-year deal. The Jets are going to be a massive rebuild, though they are a massive reconstruction, new GM, new head coach, and Pittsburgh is in a rut right now, and you don't know what direction it's going to go, but your quarterback situation is as bad as your offensive line situation. Everything else looks great, but if you're so sure that Shador and Cam Ward are two of the best prospects, then you put a package and send it to Tennessee or Cleveland to try to move up. And if it means trading T.J. Watt and George Pickens or whatever to get the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 draft spot in the draft, so be it. But I know that'll never happen, and I don't think Steeler people or Steeler Nation, even Steeler management, will even do that. T.J. Watt wants his bag, but he also knows he wants the organization to succeed. I want your thoughts. I don't know how long this is going to go. Nobody in Pittsburgh wants Aaron Rodgers. But who else do you got now? What other options do you have or whatever? Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, is your next closest thing, because Atlanta's not going to have him. Not that long. Atlanta's keeping him, basically for the right reason. Not just because he's going to get his bonus, But somebody in OTAs and training camp and preseason in the first month of the regular season, some quarterback is going to go down. It normally happens. And Kirk Cousins is going to be right there for the right price. So, Steeler Nation, I don't know what direction you're going to go, but where's your direction and where they're going to go? I don't know what to tell you. Suck it up with Aaron Rodgers for a year. It's only a year. You're not going to win the Super Bowl next year anyway. It's going to go to either Kansas City if they get their offensive line fixed. It's going to go to Philly. It's going to go to maybe the Rams. It may go to Buffalo if they get the right run. It may go to Baltimore. I don't know. I haven't done a tier list for the upcoming season coming up. It's way too early, and the draft is a month away. This will go up and decide what you want to do with yourself. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And hopefully my voice will be back in full swing.